Welcome to I'm Loving Life podcast. I'm Joseph Alvarez. We have a special guest, and we have Tim. And Lyndsey from Locke Supply. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
She's so super excited. This is like her 18th interview. Just kidding.
Never, actually.
This is your first one?
Mm-hmm. I've never
She's trying to be shy.
I'm not shy.
Okay. Well,
we'll get that out of you.
So I learned a lot about her.
Mm-hmm.
So she worked up here in Edmond, and she's part of the plumbing squad.
Correct.
For Locke. How'd you get into it?
So I used to dispatch at a plumbing company, and sitting behind a desk, working a desk job, that's just really not for me. I figured that out, but I had all this kind of knowledge and trying to figure out what to do with it. It was actually an HVAC technician friend of mine said, "Why don't you try Locke Supply? People get it Locke." And
what's this guy's name? I need to know his name.
Yeah. He recommended you. He needs to come over here.
He doesn't work for you,
Okay.
so
dang it. Okay. That's okay.
And then I went and applied and got hired on at 36 in May.
Knowing nothing
about Locke at all, but
Okay.
knowing the difference between PEX and PVC is actually a really big deal.
Yes.
You'd be surprised how many people have no idea
I
the
believe
difference
it.
between.
Now, that store used to be like a go-kart, like indoor go-kart.
Yeah, in the bathroom they actually still have all the checkered flags and everything. You can still see parts of, I think it's called pole position.
Yeah, that's
Still-
good. That's
yeah,
right.
it's-
Full position.
That's the location, and it was a really big store, really, well stocked and everything. I learned a ton of stuff there. Got promoted, and then that's when I moved over to Edmond to be the assistant manager, and just recently took over Mustang.
So in this male-dominating world, she decided to go this route to plumbing, which is very more male than I think. I don't know. You tell me. You've been in the industry. There's not very many women plumbers.
I've met 4 in the 5 years that I've been doing plumbing.
That's
out of the hundreds of guys I see a day or a week and talk to.
Because you can ask him, like, I am begging to hire women plumbing, women
absolutely.
HVAC. It's just because it needs to be more, and it's hard to get that journey. But you're going that journey, which is really, really awesome. Now,
how many of those are contractors, the women?
2 that I know of.
Okay.
And then 1 apprentice and 1 journeyman.
Okay.
And
who's the one that does the training?
Stacy Coe.
Okay.
She is a force to be reckoned with.
Girl, she is awesome.
She also is the one that organized the Plumbers Against Hunger a couple months ago that you guys came in.
She is top of the line stud. So
she's the first one I met and the only one that has been consistent in the years that I've been in.
Yeah. So you decided to go be assistant manager.
Try it out, see what happens.
And she did really well because, like, our guys would spend more time there than they would in our office. So that's a good job to you. But reality is that she's really good at what she does because, like, usually if I showed up, since I don't know plumbing, I'd have to be in a line waiting, and then on top of that, be like, hey, I have a problem. Yeah. Fix it, kind of. Who's the manager there?
Tom. Ellis. He's fantastic.
He's awesome.
25 years.
And he's always helped me out too, the same way.
Fantastic.
He's great.
Well, the one time, the first time I met you, actually, it was, I walked in, you saw me, you're like, you're looking for this part, because somebody had called it in. I was like, oh, thank God, someone that seems to be this is great.
It was really funny the first time, because you guys primarily been HVAC for the longest time, just started plumbing recently, right?
Right.
So I was at 36 in May when it was like Ross and Mike and one of the other guys who used to be here all walked in, and I looked at them and I said, are you guys lost? HVAC is down at the other end. They said, no, we're plumbers. I was like, oh, okay. So I just decided to lead them around the store. I said, hey, this is where this is, this is where this is. And then because of that, I think when I came over to Edmond, which is your primary store, they were like, you're here, now it's good.
A breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So she decided to skip that and just run a store now. Did you skip it, or did you ask for it, or they gave it to you? Which way?
I applied for it. It was I had 9 different people when the position opened call and go, you're applying, right? and 3 of which the position hadn't even been officially posted yet. We're like, hey, you're going to go work in Mustang, right? So what are you talking about?
Right.
Hey, the store opened, they want a store manager, and you're the one. Well, I'm the one. I'm the one. So they had, I think they said it was 8 people applied, and I interviewed the best out of those 8.
How does that feel? All the hard work you put in,
It's pretty cool.
and really like, I mean, because I couldn't do it. I mean, I know nothing about plumbing, so and you, hands down, will help me out anytime.
You also got to be tough as nails too to be able to hang around too. Right?
Yeah, it is not for the weak, but it feels pretty great. It's pretty cool to be able to be in charge of my own store, get it set up the way that I want it. And still have the resources. I still talk to Tom just about every day. Hey,
what do you think?
I'm not sure about this, or hey, you know more about this, or just how's the store doing? How are you doing?
Right.
Woke up to a text this morning where he said that we did more in sales yesterday than he did, and he's the top store in the company. So
let's go.
That was a really cool way to start the day.
Because nobody was really going to Mustang.
Not really, no. I even have plumbers that I know that live in Mustang that didn't even know there was a Mustang location.
I didn't know there was a Mustang location.
It's the newest. It is the newest one.
It's the prettiest one.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
And the reason why, and we just talked about this, Tim.
Yeah.
Tim, we had an episode about keeping the stores clean.
I was ranking supply shops.
Okay.
And
Go on.
I think I ranked Locke at the low. No, there was one more, but Locke was like pretty low on there, and it kind of got some heat about it. Joseph got some phone calls, but it was like, I'm just pointing out, guys,
What you've
this
seen
is a thing. Yeah, because I went to the Shawnee one, and I've never been in supply shop until I came over here, so this is all new to me.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, I was like, why does it look like this? You know, it's like, why is this a thing?
Part of it's everything, stuff sitting in a warehouse, from the manufacturer's warehouse to our warehouse to our store, and just dust just travels. But it's some buildings when you've got stuff sitting for so long, and
Right.
some it's the organization of.
Well, so
how
the
it's ran.
comment that I made was, I was like, I think it would be perfect if some women started to work here, like at this place, and we could be good.
So,
here we go. No, so the comment that I made was like, I think it'd be, the solution would be that women come in here and actually run this thing. And I was like, anyway, apparently it was pretty controversial. Joseph got phone calls about it. But now that you're doing this.
So it's actually, you should come check out Mustang, because every store is different. That's one of the benefits of Locke is, I know there are some supply houses, there's only one in the metro. There are so many different Locks and so many different locations and everything, but each store is a center, and each center has 3 branches: plumbing, heating and air, electrical. The Mustang store is the only one, the first in history and the only one to be ran by 3 women. I've got Miss Paula is our HVAC manager, Miss Tasha is our electrical manager, and then when I started last month as the plumbing manager, we were the first store to have all 3 women, and I promise you we keep that store very clean.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Even the bathrooms.
I don't say that loud. They saw the ability that they have to be like, we don't need to segregate this. This is it. These girls rock it because you have been rocking it. You've been killing it. I mean, like I said, my guys spend more time with you. They were in Edmond than they were in our shop, but reality is because you took care of them. You went above and beyond. And that's what makes us, A&T, start using Locke because of that moment.
Yeah.
So, granted, Koi is really, really good, but it's it's the people at the desk that really matter.
Right.
What are they going to do, especially if we're getting a bind, right?
Right.
And Koi will... I've seen him drive to Win Nelson to get his stuff and get over there.
He's great.
Because he's going above and beyond. It's really, really awesome.
He's
But
a great resource to have, too.
it's very exciting to see the growth that you have done. It's a really, really amazing. I mean, if we could have captured that, we probably wish we could have. But it is what it is.
That's okay.
Didn't happen.
Sorry, it's kind of one of those in the works. works things.
But I mean,
There's
Locke does have a
growth.
good plan for you. I mean, you do have part stake in the company, so that's a big part of.
The benefits are really good there, and there's not really a ceiling because I can move from store manager. And a lot of people keep asking, "Are you going to move to Mustang?" Because I actually live in Edmond. I only lived a mile from the store I was working.
What?
But I chose to go take over this store because that's just another step. There's other options I can take. There's other things I can do, and I'll tell people, no, I'm not going to move to Mustang. My daughter goes to school in Edmond. Her horseback riding's in Edmond. All my friends, my life's here in Edmond.
Right.
Driving 20 minutes, 30 minutes to work is not really a big deal. But I've told a lot of guys, I might be at this store 20 months. I might be at this store 20 years. Making store manager is a huge step. But if I choose to keep going up in the company, there are still other spots open.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are right now, but I also 2 months ago didn't think that I was going to be a store manager. So, and 2 years ago, I had no idea I'd be an assistant manager. So, it's really kind of a cool journey.
Has it been have everyone been kind of receptive? And I say guys just because obviously that's predominantly the people that go in there. But have you gotten any kind of pushback from it, or what's the kind of reception that you kind of felt from it?
There's definitely kickback, especially when you're used to having a man that you deal with, or the amount of mansplaining. I had a guy come in today ask for a part, and he's like, I need a 2-inch Y. A Y, it looks like this. And he started to show me what a Y was, and I just kind of sat and as nicely as I could. It's like, I do know what a Y is. It's right over here. And
what size do you want?
Yeah. Well,
You want a 2-inch, 3-inch, or 4? Okay.
You want pecs or?
Unfortunately, he wanted a brass Y, and I didn't have that. It's a super, super specialized part, but I was like, and I even asked him, I said, do you need it in PVC? Do you need it what do you need it for? And a lot of times people will look at me and underestimate what I do and don't know, or they'll turn and look, because my assistant manager that I just hired was at an HVAC store. So he's been at Locke for about 8 months now, knows my computer system, knows how to deal with customers, he's fantastic. But he can talk HVAC with you all day. Somebody goes and asks him for a P-trap, and he has no idea what it is, and so...
And they'll talk to him.
They'll talk to him, and I've had customers have that too, where they'll call and tell a guy, and it takes them 2 or 3 months to trust me, and then once they do, they're like, oh, she does know what she's talking
we'll go to you.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So, it's always been prevalent, even as a phone dispatcher. I need to talk to a man. Well, a man's not going to tell you what's available in the schedule.
Right.
He has no idea. That's what I've specialized in. And then
at that time.
Yeah.
So as the manager of the store for a homeowner or somebody that's going to, because they're everywhere.
They are.
Are they okay with them coming into your shop?
Yeah, absolutely.
But what is that expectation when they come in? Like, as a contractor, we get better pricing, no joke. But as a homeowner that knows nothing or is trying to do some stuff, will you kind of guide them the way to help? I know you're going to guide them to help them, but how does that process work?
So it's usually pretty easy to tell the difference right off the bat as soon as they open the door. Somebody that knows what they're looking for, they know kind of where to go, versus they look so lost and confused. It's grab them real quick. Hey, what do you... Sometimes. Or if you're in the wrong department, like, hey, what do you need? Homeowners come in all the time. More often than not, they're looking for like a faucet or something broke and they want to fix it. Or like right now, I'm sure you're getting all these calls because people are starting to turn on their sprinklers which we don't sell sprinkler parts, but some stuff we can fix. But it's that wall hydrant.
Yeah.
You turn that on, your office floods because it cracked because this was a harsh winter. So a majority of the time they'll come in with the part they're looking for, and we'll just pop behind the counter and show you where to go, and can give enough information to be dangerous. I know enough, but I didn't take a test to work at Fogg. I'm not a licensed plumber, and that is a common misconception between homeowners versus your guys know. They know I'm not a plumber, but they do know I know what goes together.
And you know what's in your shop.
And I know what I have, correct.
And that's the big thing. It's like, I know it's in my head, but I don't know where I can get this part, and hopefully you can pull that out of my memory to find it, and that's the big
pictures
thing.
are great. Sometimes they'll come in like, I have a picture of what I need, perfect, because I don't know about HVAC, but plumbing, there are so many different names for, and you've got this old school guy that's grandfather was a plumber that calls something, and then you've got this 20-year-old who's an apprentice who calls it something else. Same part. What's the function of it? What's it do? What's it look like? Oh, you're talking about, and I was trained that it's something completely different.
Did someone ever come in and ask for a pipe stretcher?
I have not had anyone ask me for a pipe stretcher but I know that's a plumbing, and that's a hazing thing.
Hazing thing, okay.
That's almost like asking someone for breaker fluid.
I know, it's...
Or blinker fluid.
I didn't know if, like, people... Because, like,
No,
for
I
me,
have
like,
had
in
guys
my
ask
mind, hey, go ask them for that part, and they run in and ask you, and you're...
For HVAC, it's an air sample, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go give me an air sample.
That's
Plastic bag. Here you go.
Like I'm saying, like, I could just see it because guys or the trades like to joke around and
They
stuff,
do,
so I didn't know if they'd
I haven't had
be
anyone pick on
bugging
me
you.
like that.
I wouldn't say pick on you, but I'm saying they're picking on their own team.
Right. No.
Hey, go ask the Locke, see if they can get that pipe stretcher. I don't know. Anyway,
That'd be funny.
that would...
As like someone that really hasn't been around the supply shops and stuff, if I were to walk into a store like before this, I would probably seek you out, like a woman out first, honestly, because I would be intimidated. Because I would be like, okay, I'm gonna go up to this dude, he's gonna look at me like I'm an idiot for calling this or this, you know. But typically I feel like ladies are usually a lot nicer, you know, so that would make me more comfortable, like if I was back in that spot. And I'm just trying to think of the average consumer that doesn't know anything, you know?
A lot more often than not, it feels like the homeowners that come in are women, and they almost always will find me first. And and then I can always guide them to the right answer. And the guys that come in, sometimes it is an older guy that's like, I know what I'm looking for. Oh, okay.
Okay, keep walking.
Go ahead. All right.
An hour later, hey, you got it?
Well, or sometimes and there have been times where I will tell you until my face turns blue, and then I'll finally hand the customer over, hey, Tim, will you talk to this man in man voice? Because he's really not hearing what I have to say. You'll say verbatim exactly what I just said, and it'll make sense to them. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know.
It's not an issue I've ever had. It's more often than not a plumber thing. It's the homeowner who
Thanks, I know.
thinks they know what they're talking about. Or Amazon said.
Oh my god.
Yeah, on Google. YouTube told me this was only going to be, well,
This is what we got.
Yeah.
you got a $2,000 job ahead of you, so you might want to call that plumber that only told you it was going to be $1,200 to fix it, because the tools alone,
Right.
Yeah.
I've quoted a customer out that wanted to argue with me, and it's like, okay, well, the parts are about $600 for that job. By the way, do you have, grip tool? No? Do you have a shovel? Do you have,
Yeah.
and
Add it all up.
The tools keep going. Also, do you have the knowledge? Can you pull a license? What do you do if this keeps going? Because I'm sure, as you've seen, this might be your problem.
But
This,
the
gets
scenario
further,
gets
it's
bad.
going to be worse and worse. So.
Right.
So in Locke, I met a couple people there now, and Abby is a really nice lady, but she
fantastic.
orders the parts, which she's gonna, hopefully we'll get her on
I hope so.
eventually. But she's level wise, she's more corporate side, and
She's at our corporate office. She is one of our buyers, so she primarily, her function is tools. Any tool you get, so HVAC, plumbing, electrical, she does with all of the tools, all the Milwaukee, all the DeWalt, all the.
You don't like saying that word, do you?
What's that?
DeWalt.
I don't
Are you
mind.
a Milwaukee person?
My stories.
Yeah, well, it had to be.
Plumbers tend to like the Milwaukee better. I do have a lot of.
I wonder why.
I think it's
Just
I'm not
more-
sure
it's
a
red.
preference. I don't know. I actually.
It's red. The color red.
I
That's all
haven't
it
figured
is.
that out. Really.
No, I just think it's because
It's a
they
fun
have
social
more
experiment.
more options.
Probably, and it's. I think
It's
the
probably
power.
cooler.
Maybe.
I don't think
You
DeWalt's
don't
cool
even
at
know
all.
what tool. Come on.
Hey,
now.
don't have
Hey,
on
he
that
knows
road,
red.
sir.
He knows red.
It's red.
No, it's like a green and gray or Hobie.
No.
One of the roofers left his was it skill saw?
Yeah.
Right? and it was a Robie, so I was giving him a hard time. I was like, are you a real roofer? Like, are you sure? Like, I don't feel like that goes together.
There's a lot by the tools in your truck.
So you have a daughter.
I do.
And what's her name again?
Abigail.
Abigail. I was going to say Abby.
That's all right.
But Abigail.
She goes by Abby at school, but she doesn't want me to. That's what her friends call her. Abby.
Right.
No, you're not.
And how old is she?
I'm not her friend. 13.
13. So,
okay.
Is she even interested? I mean, you said you're horseback riding.
Yeah, she's really big into horseback riding.
You see a lot of her in you.
She is me, but tiny.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. If you ever see her, you will not be able to deny that she's mine.
Okay. So she do just horseback riding? Is that it?
She plays cello at school too.
Oh my goodness! Let's go.
She's super well rounded.
That's awesome.
Do you have your own horse, or
no? The stable that we're at, we are able to lease a horse, so it's a time schedule thing.
Yeah.
And 4 times a week, and she's got her lessons, and then times that she rides privately as well, separate of that, because she's responsible enough to have that opportunity. And then it's pretty great because we get to go and have all the benefits of having a horse without
owning the horse.
And having the medical bills and feeding, but she still gets the responsibility. She also helps at the farm because the owner of the stable works at the farm too, and she gets to go out there and help with the goats and help with this, so she is busy.
So does she go to work with you and see that side of you? Because I know there's probably 2 sides of you. Boss and then mom side, right?
Mom. She has come to the store a couple of times. She hasn't been to the Mustang store.
Okay.
There are a couple of times she got dropped off when I was at 36 in May and just saw me as one of the counter hands.
Right.
And then she's seen me. And it's really interesting too, because anytime guys walk in, I have to point out my daughter is here. Because you know how contractors talk, so, and I can hold my own and everything, but I'd like her to maintain at least some sort of
keep it PG for a little bit, please.
Exactly.
Because that's a different world. It is a different world. It is a
very different world, and she loves it. She actually asked me, and I was really confused by it. She asked me the other day, do I have to go to college? And I said, well, if you still want to be a marine biologist, then yes, you're going to have to go to college. She goes, what if I change my mind and I want to be an electrician? Would you be disappointed in me if I didn't want to go to college and I wanted to be an electrician? I said, absolutely not.
Push your HVAC.
Absolutely. You know, I even told her, I said, you want to work plumbing? I've got a company, HVAC and plumbing. She does not want to be a plumber by any means at all.
Yeah.
But she had asked if she could be in a trade, and I said, it's not bad at all.
Just in, like, being in the trades and seeing, like, being a mom and be able to know, like, there is other options out there.
Absolutely.
And you giving her that ability. That's really awesome of you. Did you go to college too?
I did not.
Okay.
No.
But you graduated from...
I went to Edmond North.
Oh, you went to Edmond?
Mm-hmm.
I should have known that.
Sorry.
I went to Westmore, so I was other side, so it was all good.
Okay.
So Edmond North.
I had opportunities for college and opportunities for traveling theater company, but
What?
So I was gonna be a theater major.
Oh wow.
But it's really interesting. I had a full ride offer from OSU for theater. The flying crew, because we had done a couple of shows where a flying crew came in, they had offered me a job where I'd be touring and traveling with them. Well, then I found out I was 21 weeks pregnant, like a couple weeks before.
Little sidestep.
Yeah. So theater and newborn don't really go together. So I went into the mom and working. I worked at daycare so that she'd have daycare. I worked as a bartender. I did, and a lot of those all kind of come into play when it comes to working with, because sometimes I need my daycare voice and sometimes I need my bartender voice to deal with contractors. So.
Talk about a path. That's amazing. Man. So you did all that. At the end of the day, is like, what actually fills you up? Like, what actually, I mean, I know the trip that you took to Colorado was pretty filling, but what actually really enjoys that fills your cup so that you can go to work and deal with these knuckleheads all the time? My daughter is such a driving force to make sure that she is taken care of.
getting to go out to the stable with her is actually really cool. She has her own life out there, but I've also got things that I do. I help with some of the kids and the lessons and everything, and I like just being out there in nature. We love going camping and getting wherever. As someone who's in charge of people, you know, your phone is going off 8 million times. I've had 2 phone calls since I've sat here.
Right.
It's nice to disconnect. I love hiking and camping and just getting away from all of that for a couple
So if we have an acting job for you for A&T, no?
Please don't.
Okay.
So I was actually backstage.
Okay, I was just wondering. I was like, he was talking about acting. I was like, wait a minute.
I mean, I would come hang out with you guys if you need someone, but I was more on the production side of it. I'd run lights. I'd be in charge of props. I was the stage manager who would take care of everything.
Well,
so it'd be something like that.
We have a marketing team.
I know, and you have a warehouse too.
I know. We keep pushing. No, I'm.
That was a fun little game we played up in Colorado.
It was good.
I think we got up to 17 times in a day.
Yeah, we were asking. Me and Mike kept asking questions about it. But hey,
separately together, it was great.
It was good. So going through all that, filling up. What is your goal for the next couple of years? Let's just say 6 months. So first 6 months, I know it's really your store, but
yeah, so getting my store figured out and organized is the biggest thing. I'd like to, Locke has certain incentives. I'd like to, if I get my store to the highest sales growth, then there's, I'm competitive. Let's go.
What are big action items for you in that role as a store manager to try to boost sales? How does that work?
That's something we're looking into right now.
You could start doing TikToks.
At kind of a disadvantage.
Ooh, you could start doing TikToks.
I don't know that most plumbers would. Maybe.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna check with HR on that one.
I'm just saying, that would be a good way.
A lot of it's hitting the pavement, going around and finding out who's in my area. Hey, where are you shopping? Why aren't you shopping with me? What's going on? Bringing donuts in the morning.
But Locke just now got a marketing person, right?
We do, yeah.
He's been there for a little bit, but now he's trying to get the video guy. He's been there for a little bit, but they're really focusing on it now. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
It's interesting to see where that's going to go. Because a lot of it has been, one thing that I can do is there's a Lowe's a mile from me. Sometimes on my lunch break I'll drive by and be like, who's shopping at Lowe's and why aren't they shopping with me?
Right.
And or there's a on queue, and I'm sure guys spend a lot of time at gas stations, so what plumber is sitting at on queue? And
that's smart.
Hey, I'm right down the street. What do you guys need? So
you could do just little videos of you talking and sharing how knowledgeable you are. To that?
Oh, I think it would go.
I think that's a game changer. That's exactly what pops into my head. I'm just saying, do little videos.
Yeah.
You do it yourself at your store.
Too.
But you promote your store, what it is. You talk about it.
It'd be so much different than everyone else that does. Now, Locke is just known to be the 7-Eleven, right, of everybody.
Sort of, yeah. There's
everywhere.
We are everywhere. We're open.
But if you want to use your store, though, I'm just saying.
He's got a solid point.
You've got a very valid point.
Just saying. It'd be a great idea.
Might be something I have to do.
Because every plumber that you know would start following that.
Well, and on Facebook I had posted a picture on my first week of hey, I'm at the Mustang store now, or it's been a really exciting adventure taking over the Mustang store. Within an hour I had 103 likes, comments, and everything, and that was just that. I haven't really I've never actually made a TikTok.
I'm at store in Mustang. I got donuts this morning. Come and see me. Little stuff like that.
Yeah.
You take 15, 20 seconds.
I make fresh coffee every morning, y'all.
It's I'm just saying.
That's what I did in Edmond when I first showed up. Is I get donuts every Thursday. And it's hey guys. One Thursday was off for something first get donuts. Lyndsey's not here. Oh.
And now they're not there at all.
I guess it's up to Tom.
Yeah. Okay, at the end of the day, Loving Life Podcast, thank you so much for coming. I know it's a lot out of your time, so I appreciate you coming here.
Appreciate you having me.
You're amazing, Lyndsey, so.
Thank you guys for
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hope you shop with us anymore.
I know that's right.
Thanks.